Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining today's microlearning session. It focuses on mental health concerns and where digital inclusion overlaps for support and resources. I'm the facilitator, Julie Heller, Program Manager for Digital Inclusion. Freschta Naseri is our subject matter expert with lived experience from Afghanistan, and Megan Rafferty is the Training Officer for Mental Health and Wellness. Thank you. If you have participated in previous microlearning sessions, we began on June 10th and continue through July 22nd. Each Monday, we start at 12:30 Eastern Time and conclude at approximately 12:45. Each day, we follow a different animated character that is based off of real-life experiences throughout their resettlement journey. This will all be followed by recommended resources, This presentation will introduce technology as a complementary tool in mental health services and will focus on technologies that have a realistic accessibility rate in the realm of resettlement. Today's concerns and focus will center around self-harm ideation. The learning objectives are twofold. By the end of this session, you'll be able to recognize common mental health concerns Afghan families encounter at different stages of their resettlement journey and identify ways to integrate tools, technological tools, and resources in supporting those Afghan families, those newcomers seeking mental, social, and emotional services. Meet Zohra. Today, we will watch a 5-minute animation of Zohra as she begins her resettlement journey. Her concerns, again, will focus around self-harm, and she will look for ways to cope using technology. Any questions, as always, can be submitted in the Q&A box and be discussed after the animation, and recommended resources will be shared.
This animation depicts how new technologies can support Afghan newcomers in addressing the mental health concerns they may experience during their resettlement journey. Meet Zora, a young Pashtun mother from Nangarhar who has been dreaming of the days when she was with her family back in Afghanistan. Zora had a well-paying job in Afghanistan working with the U.S. Army. She knew sufficient English to work as an interpreter and translator.
There are over 11,000 kilometers or 7,000 miles between me and where I want to be. Selfish person. How could I leave my child behind? I have no say in where I live. I am buried in responsibility and cannot control these horrible feelings about abandoning my child and not having control. I'm constantly thinking about my family members back in Afghanistan. I worry about their safety and security. I feel angry, helpless, hopeless, stressed, and sad. I can only release my anger and hopelessness by hurting myself.
Self-harm is when an individual attempts to displace emotional pain into physical pain to reduce overwhelming feelings and escape traumatic memories.
I also feel immense guilt for endangering my family's life in Afghanistan by interpreting for the U.S. government. The Taliban made me aware my life was in danger. My concerns are now especially high because I am safe and my family might not be safe. I will reach out to my mental health case worker provider.
How are you doing today, Zora?
I have been here for 4 months and still don't know what to do. My family is in Afghanistan. I also feel so selfish for coming to the US when my son is not here. I don't want anything for myself at the moment. I don't want this safety when my family is in danger. Even if I could have the whole world, I don't want it. I only want my son and my family with me.
I'm so sorry to hear you're going through this. I understand these are very difficult times.
The conversation continues for another 30 minutes. Christina suggests that Zora use a telehealth app to access support more regularly. Meeting in person with a mental health professional is difficult with Zora's work schedule.
But I don't know how it works. How am I supposed to join the check-in online?
I can help you with that. First, You need to download the telehealth app to your phone. Then, create a login and password. I will send you a link by text and email before our appointment. Once you have the app downloaded, all you need to do is click on the link and we will be connected. You may also use your laptop to join our meetings if you prefer.
That's great. It will be super helpful to talk to you more often. Thank you.
Zora, I would like to reshare this list of emergency contacts in case you call me when I don't have my phone or am not available. Please save these numbers to your phone for safety reasons. You can call, text, or visit the Lifeline website anytime free of charge. And call this hotline if you're experiencing thoughts of self-harm anytime, day or night.
Christina offers a list of resources, including the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 988.
I took a picture and saved the numbers to my contact list. Thank you. I didn't know these resources exist on demand. I thought the only way to talk to someone is if I can make an appointment. And these are free. Do I need to have insurance to call them?
These resources are completely free of charge. You can access these resources without insurance.
That's amazing. I will share it with my roommates and other Afghan ladies in my neighborhoods too.
Okay, as always, we do have a Slido question for you. How does Zohra's use of technology effectively support her with her concerns around self-harm? If you could pull out your phone and use your camera to scan the QR code, or you may join us at slido.com and use the number below, the 2474949 number. Again, we'll pause for just a moment to give you some time to participate in the poll, and you can engage by using the QR code or slido.com. Again, the question is, how does Zohra's use of technology effectively support her with her concerns around self-harm? So we have some responses coming in. So links, coordination with resources, easy access 24/7, better timing for her schedule, provides accessible free professional mental health, provides on-demand support for crisis moments, gives her someone to speak to. They're coming in so fast, I'm doing my best to keep up. All right, gives her someone to speak to so she doesn't feel isolated, connects with professionals, easy access, support, accessibility, access, all correct telehealth consultation, free of charge, access to resources. Yes, she can call anytime from anywhere to seek help. Make an appointment online, makes it easy for the client to connect with the therapist, less isolation, accessibility, immediate access to help in a crisis, earlier or easier access to mental health counselor. Excellent, all amazing answers. Again, a great conversation starter with this overlap with mental health and digital inclusion, and these are all really good responses. So free mental health, can be advised with online services, improves her access to telehealth and healthcare services and resources. Awesome, all again, amazing. Use a couple more and then we'll move on. Useful for her and other refugee clients who are in touch with Zohra. Correct. Providing resources, free services, doctors willing to help her online, and services is a good option for which she is very happy, as she noticed. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go on to some possible action steps. So assisting in registering with and creating logins and passwords for downloaded telehealth apps is very important. Emphasizing the benefits and the ease of telehealth, providing emergency contacts, hotlines, and chat forums to reach out when ideating about self-harm. So some good steps that at the conclusion of this session that you can potentially take. Some recommended resources, some touch points for this, and as we've emphasized in the past, it's worth talking about again as we remind ourselves of these resources and the beginning conversations again about this overlap with mental health and digital inclusion. So telehealth apps, again, they can overcome barriers like distance to the provider, shortages, connecting patients with remote healthcare professionals, and also language specific. So Dari and Pashto speaking therapists often have very limited access. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, they're more convenient, timely, efficient, and increase the probability of continuing care. So there's the cost saving variable that's associated with that time away from work that you wouldn't need if you participate in a telehealth app or parking, those types of things. Also, the second recommended resource here is the 988 Lifeline chat and text. It can connect one with caring crisis counselors for emotional support 24/7. So those two touch points are our recommended resources and will be sent out to you within 24 hours, hopefully, of this session. So learning objectives, again, today were twofold. So now you're able to recognize common mental health concerns that Afghan families encounter at different stages of their resettlement journey. And secondly, you can identify ways to integrate technological tools and resources in supporting Afghan newcomers seeking mental, social, and emotional health services. If you have a question or you'd like to take a moment and pause about a potential question, now's a great time to do that. As always, we will respond to some of these. If you think of them later and you'd like to email me, I have gotten a few emails at julie.heller@rescue.org. That's 100% fine as well if it's more specific. But if you'd like to drop a question into the Q&A, you absolutely can, and we will address those. But again, you're more than welcome to drop them in, and I will obviously get back. We're really good about, Megan and I are both pretty good about addressing those emails after the session. So we did have a question, April, who's really great. Thank you so much for all of your questions. She continues to throw some in here. How do we overcome their belief in talking to family only? One of the great resources that we had prior, I think, is those online resources, those Facebook communities. And that's a really great assistance that I think once they see their family and community members that are encouraging them and supporting them in online groups, that's one of the great ways. We'll follow up with some other suggestions as well in the personal email, April. Okay, let's go on to giving a little bit of feedback if you wouldn't mind. So we do have one more here for you. If you can help us help you, we do have 5 questions. Takes about 60 seconds. If you wouldn't mind scanning the QR code and giving us some feedback and letting us know how we're doing for just a moment. I'm going to pause just a moment and let you do that before we wrap up. Okay, I am going to let you finish that on your own. Hopefully you had enough time to do that. Thank you again for joining us today. Next week is the conclusion of Zohra as she continues her resettlement journey, and she has concerns around trauma. We will look at those concerns and how digital inclusion overlaps. It will be the conclusion of this entire series. I appreciate seeing you for each and every one of these, or only one or two as your schedules allowed. I hope you have a really great week and hope to see you back next Monday at 12:30 Eastern Time. Take care.